they tell us definitely regular season, so glad to get rolling. Today, I'll fill you in just a little bit injury-wise. We're in good shape in that front. The guy who won't participate today is Brian Hill, so he's still dealing with an ankle, and he'll likely be out as we're going through the next couple of days. So he's definitely out today, and I'll give you an update for that tomorrow. Past that, we're in pretty good shape in terms of from an injury standpoint. Today, and we have a real process we go through to get ready. And that part begins today with us on Competition Wednesday and all the things that we do on this day to help us get ready. We started the preparation earlier in Chicago, but today fully. And as you go back through and look at the tape, both lines of scrimmage, it's that kind of day. Good offensive line, both teams, good square defensive lines that can play. So definitely that part's at hand. But for us today, game plan wise, fully in order, and health wise, we're in good shape. So I'm glad to open it up to your questions.
Coach, I know they weren't doing much, but what could you tell on how they plan to use Glennon in the Bears offense?
Really, the play action, is one of the things that he does very well, and they have a good run game, so that makes sense, Led, in terms of how they would want to feature him. They're not outside the pocket, with the keepers as much as they've shown maybe with other quarterbacks, but that part of the game is really alive. And then the quickness of where he can get the ball out. We saw that, through the preseason, and two guys and quickly, not, downfield as much, but the quickness of getting the ball out, that's what we saw.
Okay.
Dan, you said you could tell it's regular season. Were you just referencing energy or something? And then also, just as a follow-up, can you just talk about how nice it is to be able to play a game and sort of put everything else behind you?
The regular season one, it was nice to have so many here. I don't know if it was a free lunch that was offered from Brian, but there was a certain energy as you walked into the building, and then the process begins for us, and a new outlook, even in the team meetings to get going. This is the group, and new seat changes, just new view of where we're headed. For me personally, now going through it the third time, I feel more comfortable also going through that process, learning what I had in year one, and hopefully learning quite a bit in year two, and that jump should happen again. So me understanding the process, the weekend's the hardest one for me as the cuts happen, and finding those spots. We had a pretty good sense between Thomas and myself of who, and then who would be some ones we could bring back on the practice squad. So we're happy that we were able to get a number of the guys that we had targeted back. And at the same time, for guys who got claimed or on another practice squad, I'm pumped for them too, Jeff, only because they put the time in here. So if it's not going to happen here, I would like them to get an opportunity elsewhere.
Have you noticed that Bears line Leonard Floyd up on one side specifically, or do they move him around a lot? And how do you feel like your offensive line match up against him?
Like most times, they'll put him into different spots. In nickel, he plays more on the right side, and he's been a featured player in that way. So he's definitely one of the guys. But past him, Willie Young's a good player, and McPhee's a good player, and the inside guys, especially in nickel, have done a good job too. So they're real square, they're real strong and stout, especially in the run game. The linebackers play square to the line of scrimmage and are good tacklers. When I look at their defensive side, I think of a real fundamentalist, like no easy yards, it's going to have to be earned, and the run game on both sides, I think, is going to be a real factor in this game.
Dan, when you talk about their strength on both lines of scrimmage, do you change, or does the offensive side of the ball change a game plan or adapt a game plan going in when a team is particularly strong up the middle like they are with Sit and white hair and I guess it's long.
Yeah, that's what we're planning for. No, you're really planning on the style, but the player will also study that player, that they're competing against. So what individual techniques may a player use? In other words, how does their left tackle try to grab? How does their left guard play things? When they pull, do they give anything away? So each week the studying kind of goes deeper and deeper as you get through Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And then once you get really into Saturday, that preparation part is over. Now it's your intent of how you're going to play. You don't necessarily have a different style. You don't play a different front, if the team's more suited in one way. So we really stay consistent to what we do.
Coach, can you talk about tax rule going into this game?
Yep.
I know he came on.